SJ Cartier Limited Combos, and today I'm going to be talking a bit about the prison system, and I'm not going to delve into my experiences too much or save that for later videos, but I'm going to delve into how I think the prison systems are actually set up and run a little bit anyway. So I was watching this morning the other day, and it kind of shocked me with the percentage and it says 47% of people that come out of jail are to return to jail, and in 1999 an average sentence was 16 months, and in the 2000s now and 25 the average sentence is 22.5 months. So the understanding of that is more than a third of us, when you go to jail, will end up back to jail. And it shows that actually in 20 years plus times, the average sentence has gone up by 6.5 months, which is half a year. So for me, I'm thinking, why is the percentage of people going back to jail after they've come out of jail? And I'm thinking maybe it's the setup that the prison systems have when you get out of jail. So when you get out of jail, if you are not someone that is got family, like let's say for starters you haven't got a partner, so you haven't got a partner that's stuck with you throughout your jail time, who obviously has a home when you get home. If you haven't got a mother, as most adults nowadays wouldn't really want to rely on going back to their mothers or their fathers. If you have not got your own house that is already paid for, or that landlords are willing to keep for you when you get out, or possibly housing associations or council, but with housing associations or councils you can only have no longer than 6 months serving into, no longer than a year. When I was in jail, it was no longer than a year sentence. So if you had a year sentence and you had 6 months to serve, then your house would have to be given up, because the council can only pay your rent while you're on remand, or up to three to 6 months on a sentence, depending on your sentence. So when most people get out of jail, they actually don't actually have a home to go to. When they are actually sent out of jail, a lot of these prisoners are sent to shared houses where they aren't given any support system. They are given a lot of, so for instance, for me, I have done my professional cookery level 2 in jail. I have done bricklaying courses in jail. I've got hairdressing courses in jail. I've done gym instructing courses in jail. I've done mindset courses. I've done business studies. I've done computers. I've done woodwork. I've done a variety of courses in jail. I actually wasn't able to take my GCSEs, so when I was a teenager, I took my level 2s in jail, because I should be A, B's, minimum B's for me in all my top subjects if I took my GCSEs. So when I was in jail, I actually took my level 2s in just maths and English, which is able to be taken, which is equal to an A to C. So when we look at prisoners coming out of jail and then actually looking for a job, and you have actually a lot of skills and qualifications, is it easy for a prisoner to get a job? So if we look at everybody now, if I walk into a place and say to you, I've been to prison, I'm after a job, how would you take that person? Would you be very forthcoming to see what they were in prison for, whether they were in prison for a long time, how old were they, what were their circumstances, what are your circumstances now, and most importantly, can you do the job that I need you to do? So I'm seeing a lot of people come out of jail and have no home, have no job, and be expected to change their complete lifestyle, although the people on the new outside aren't willing to give them an opportunity. And then when you actually look at what they are doing in jail when they end up back in jail, I'm thinking we're just making a lot of money for you, because if you end up in jail, the best thing for the jail system and for other people in higher powers is for you to return back to jail. Because while you are in jail, you are making the jail money, you are making the government money. Whereas you come out of jail, you can't get a job, you have no house to live in. And it's like, how to put it? I don't know how to put it. It's like it's giving you a recurring cycle. It's giving you false hope also, because you do all your qualifications, looking to come out and change, and the people that are judging you are doing sometimes immoral things that you would never even think of, are actually saying no to you to get a job. So the percentage is of people going back to jail is down to the system, not down to the actual person, because the person could come out and completely change their life and people still wouldn't give them a chance. So I don't know where to go from there, but it's like, what do we do? So me now with a business, yes, I have a business. Yes, I'm not at a point where I can say I am, what's the word? How to put it? I have not got a business that is profitable every month to say I can live off. Yeah. So because of that, I can't actually say what I'm got do what I'm about to say. But when it gets to a point for me to able to do this, I will. So my message for a lot of people today is, don't judge people that have been to jail and then judge the amount of people that end up back in jail. Because if you're in a position to give those people that come out of jail an opportunity, then you may find that some of these people that come out of jail actually had a lot of skills. They're actually very respectful, and they can actually do your job to a better standard than the people that have never been to jail and possibly don't have that same respect because it was just given to them. And in some ways, they don't feel like they've got to earn it. So for me, even, I feel like any job that I've been trying to apply for in the last year and a half, they have turned me down, possibly because of who I am and my background. And then if I was to look at the people that these people employed, I am very confident in myself to say that 70 to 80% of these people aren't doing a better job than I would be. So I look at that and think, wow. I look at that with my business and think, I've tried to get a job. I've tried to, at first when I started my business, I will say a lot of people weren't aware of me. So trust, you have to gain trust. I've gained my trust. But then I think there's a lot of people that come from nowhere and may not look like me, with that essence of, you look like you may have been into something previously, just get trust from nowhere. And it's like, wow, me coming from the lifestyle I've had and the fact that I've changed my life, I think people would like to support that more than try to bring that down. I like to think if I've come from a lifestyle where I've changed my life and I'm trying to get a job and try and work hard, I'd think somebody would say, you know what, I'd like to give them an opportunity. So these people that are judging and saying, oh, look at him, look at that, they wouldn't give me an opportunity, and they'd be happy to see me back in jail, saying, oh, look at him, he's back in jail and he's done the cycle as we expected. Some of us have got stronger mindsets than that. Some of us haven't, unfortunately, and the cycle continues. And it's not an easy life to say you just want to change when you come out of jail, because people like me, I came out and had to stay at a female's house when I got out. I didn't have I got let out of a 3.5 year sentence, and the prison let me out with nowhere to go, and I had to find my own place to stay. That's where I've come from. So for me to come from that and now be looking at some people trying to force me back into a criminal lifestyle because, one, they'd rather try and bring down my business, which is legitimate. Or two, they just wouldn't want me to have a job to work hard for my living legally. They'd rather me go and do some illegal. And I'm going to correlate that with a little thing that I saw today, which for me I felt quite proud of, but for some of us we seem to be very negative of. So for me, Stormzy has got something now in McDonald's. I don't know what it is. I don't go to McDonald's myself specifically. So I don't even know whether it's a burger or fries or whatever it is, but he's got something in McDonald's. And for me, that's a for me. So the fact that he's got some kind of promotion going with McDonald's, that's like his brand of Stormzy being highlighted by one of the biggest brands in the world. But then there's a lot of people that are trying to put that down and make out like that he's a sellout. I find that quite weird to think that a black man who is now broken into a very corporate business, let's say, because they are worldwide, is a sellout move, to be extremely honest, because what would people rather? Would they rather Stormzy on the road selling drugs, making music, talking about him selling drugs, making music? And that's not me saying he has ever done that, and that's not me thinking he can or wouldn't do that, but it's just the energy of what would people rather? Stormzy having his big food in McDonald's as a brand, or would they rather him not have his food there and trying to find other methods to make money, which in some terms may not be the legitimate way? And that's not saying that's what he's doing, that's just saying looking at it as a black man then from the urban life. So what do we really do to help prisoners when they come out of jail? I don't know, because as I say, I've come out and I've had to build everything myself, grow everything myself. I've had to look for a job when I know the business isn't making enough profit to sustain me and my family. And I've had to stay strong and resolve to not actually go back to easy money, I can say, but a possibility of going back to jail. And some people would rather that, whereas the mindset isn't on that. So yeah, that was a bit for today. I don't know if you was trying to say something there.
Just one thing. What What do you think has kept you so strong that you haven't fallen back into certain things? Because it is a lot to go from something and then to be constantly knocked back job wise and struggling and no one supporting. It could be very easy for some to just say, oh, it was easier the other way, I'm going to go back. But you haven't. You've stood your ground. What do you think's helped you to stay strong
Well,
with that?
well, honestly, um, first of all, first and foremost, I'm not gonna act like I'm a saint. So as I say, when I first come out of jail, I stayed at a woman's before I got my own place, and I'm not gonna say I was the best behaved, yeah. But what has helped me change is obviously moving away from my local system, because normally, okay, we've had these conversations before. Normally, I will put straight towards you as my woman, but I'd say if you was my woman in the area of Birmingham, I was still living in Birmingham, it may have been a bit different and harder to get away from. Do you get that? Because luxuries is just around, and it's hard not to have luxury. So being in Bruma would have been possibly different to the fact that I moved to London. Do you get that?
Yeah.
So the fact that I took myself away from my everything I kind of knew and everybody I knew, even though, as I say, if you really know me or you've listened to me, you'll realise I travelled the whole UK in my life, and I've got actually friends and associates and people I've met up and down the country. So for me to move away, it wasn't actually an issue for me to just move away and be different. Do you get that? But I moved away with a different mindset, I say. that's where you come in, because the mindset change, because the fact of I'm moving into your home, I'm moving into your home where you have kids. So my mentality had to change to who I was. Do you get that?
Yeah.
So I say the mindset, honestly, no one ever knows people's mindset from the start anyway. So from when I last got out of jail, my plan was to find a woman, start a business, and travel the world. Yeah. So those were my three plans. Yeah. To when I get out. Obviously, another one was obviously kids. To be extremely honest, check up on kids and possibly have one myself. Yeah. So those were like the set out things for me. Yeah. Finding you and moving away helped me not to be around regular stuff that is happening every day for me, and it allowed me to concentrate on whatever I was doing myself as well as what I want to do now. Do you get that?
Yeah.
So the fact that I now am not just going to a friend's, or I'm just not going up the road here or chilling here, and I have time to sit down and think and put my money to use, which is where the auctions were found. So I had time now to sit down and look at my auctions. I had time to go to other shops that people I met in London and just have conversations about getting things from China and having different business. We've got to go Acton Gardens and meet up with people and make some business connections that I still actually have now. Funnily enough, yeah. So I was able to change my route in that sense. Yes, I've applied for how many jobs? Yes, I've tried to get a job to help progress whatever I've put into this business already. But I think in the end, it's my willpower, honestly. Willpower. Because, as I say, things can happen like that. So, even when my mind knows that and I'm thinking that, in the end, the willpower tells me just left that alone. Yeah, because for me, anyway, Allah's going to bless the business with the positive that I need. Do you get that?
Yeah.
So, the same way I said for you, Allah blessed me with you because I was patient in finding and waiting for the right woman, no matter what I saw in front of me. Do you get that? Like, I could be all fun today, but I can switch that to husband mode rapid for the right one. And it's trusting in Allah to know, just be who you want to be until the right one finds you or you find her. And it's the same with the business, same with the job, same with everything. It's like faith and willpower in myself. So it's an accumulation of things. It's getting away from regular um, distractions, let's say. It's being strong enough to actually take yourself away. Yeah. It's, for me anyway, having a woman and a family now. Also, I'd say it's, I've got to look at also, for me, it's me being stubborn and saying to myself, I'm not allowing people that already judge me for one way and look at me for one way able to say I told you so. As well. Yeah. So same with my business. From how long I've said fast shipping, variety of products, and people will continually see these things will add up to what I said from the start, because I'm persistent and I'm not somebody that allows someone to say, I told you he said he lied, or I told you he wouldn't do that, because I do everything I say. Do you get that? So when I come to you and I said I'm changing my life, I've changed my life because I made that call. I remember the call. Do you get that? Like, are you sure? Because when I come down here, my mindset's different to what we already was on. Do you get that? So my mindset, I'm making you aware where my mindset's at. And if you weren't with it, then you weren't with it. And I wouldn't give up until I asked you a good few times to to make sure that you understand where my path is going.
Yeah.
Do you get that? And that's the same with this now. I know where my path will go, and I'm not allowing anyone or anything to just disturb that for no reason. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Because they'll just laugh and say, "I told you so," and then what? The work's put in for nothing. I don't put work in for nothing. Do you get that? Like, I know I've set out my plans and I play a lot of chess. So when I play chess, it's the same way I play my life. I plan every step. Sometimes I'm planning only 1, 2 moves ahead because it's not a key move for me. It's not an important move in the game. Some moves I'm planning 10 moves ahead. No one knows because I've got how many branches for these 10 moves here, and because remember 10 moves turn into 100 moves because one move can make you do 10 moves, and you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So the branch is off. So it's knowing my plan and sticking to it.
Yeah.
Do you get, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
You get that? But that's for me, as I say, because luckily for me, my mum's very strong as well, and my dad there is very strong as well. So both my mum and dad contact me very much so a lot. So that helps me when I hear you. I'm proud of you and all those things. Helps me to know that I'm showing you as a good woman that I can be a good man for you. It helps for the children to see, you know what, although we saw how he came, we can see how he is now. Do you get that? Like little things. So these things in my close surroundings make me stronger as well. Do you get that? And I say possibly the mistake for people is not trusting in themselves. Because people, as we said at the beginning, roads will cut you off to make you think that is the only road. When in fact there's 1,000,001 roads. And if I'm not being disrespectful to some people, but if those idiots over there can make that, why can't someone with a brain? Do you get that? And sometimes the idiot isn't the one that was in jail. And I think that's the time to end that. Because that's a good one. But yeah, welcome back to SJ Cartier Limited Convos. And in the future, I will be actually breaking down like some of like my things that I've seen and been through in jail, and what makes me a stronger man now. I'd say some of those things that have happened in jail and that I've had to go through in jail. So thank you again for joining me for SJ Cartier.